Hello and welcome to Surviving the Storm Episode 3. Today we will be looking into the best ways to sign up for classes and making use of effective study habits. So stay tuned. Surviving the Storm starts right now. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Surviving the Storm. I am your host, Jordan Gazarowski, and joining me today is Chef Josh McMillan. Thanks for being on the show, Jeff.
Thanks for having me on the show, Jordan.
So how are you today?
I'm doing great.
So please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
I'm come from East Troy, Wisconsin. I've been cooking professionally for about 8 years now. Today we're about to do a little bit of home cooking.
Okay. So what are we making today?
Today we are making pork chop Parmesan.
Sounds good.
With some Italian breadcrumbs, some fresh onion, garlic, and fettuccine.
So what's our first step?
First step, we're going to take the pork chops. We're going to get them nice and coated in the breading.
Okay.
Make sure our pan's nice and hot beforehand.
Now that's going to brown for how long?
About 2 minutes on each side.
2 minutes on each side.
Yep.
Okay.
And while we've got our pork chops browning, we can take a couple minutes to slice up some onion.
All right.
And
yeah, you can do that. I'm not the best cutter.
Okay. Absolutely.
Doesn't that make you cry at all?
No.
Used to it.
After years of doing it, you kind of get used to it.
So you said you've been cooking for 8 years.
Yep.
So where do you work currently?
Currently, I'm at the Iron Horse Hotel right here in Milwaukee.
Okay. How long have you been working there?
Since February.
February, so you're recently new.
I am.
So are you like one of the head chefs, or?
I am not a head chef yet. I am currently in a line cook position, but I am working my way to the top every day.
Okay. So what's your dream job then?
Dream job, one day I want to have my own restaurant with a greenhouse and garden in the back so I can do a lot of my own, make a lot of my own product, you know, work with fresh ingredients. The fresher the better.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right, and now check these.
Okay. So I mean that's been on for like a minute, right?
Yep. They're working.
So do you have like dreams of owning your own restaurant one day?
Yep, one day. And like I said, I plan on having a greenhouse garden in the back, make a lot of my own fresh herbs, fresh produce, maybe work with local farmers for meats and whatnot.
Okay, interesting. So while that's browning, is there anything else we can do right now?
The onion's all chopped up. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to get this pan nice and hot to get the onions in. And we can toss our noodles in right now. Those are going to take about...
And those are fettuccine noodles, right?
Yep. We're going to cook them to al dente so they still have a little bit of a bite.
A little Italian right there.
Yep. Keep it fresh. Just once we get the sauce all cooked up, it's gonna carry over a little bit. So you want it to still be not too chewy.
Okay.
Not have a bite.
Right. So how long does it stay in the pot?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yep.
Not bad. So then what's our next step?
Our next step after that, we can get the pan ready for the pork chops and get the oven rolling. About 200 degrees.
200 degrees.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, I'm looking at this right now. What is this tool? I've never seen this before.
This tool right here is an Immersion Blender. It's for hand blending, basically. It's for finishing sauces and other sort of froths and foams.
Nice. So when are we going to use this?
Almost near the end of the sauce after we have everything sauteed up nice.
Okay, I'll call dibs on using this.
All right, that's all you. All right, so now...
So now we're putting the onions in?
Yep, we're going to throw our onions in.
There we go. Now how long does that take?
About a few minutes. You want to cook them to almost translucent.
What does that mean?
to where they're clear, they're cooked through. A lot of the flavors came out of it.
Okay, interesting. And now we're putting in the garlic.
Yep, a little bit of garlic to push through
Spice
that
it
fresh
up.
flavor. Yep.
I mean, if it's an Italian dish, you have to have garlic, right? Like that's the main
essentially,
ingredient.
yep. That's the key stuff. And some other seasonings. We have oregano, chili flake,
Okay.
a little bit of salt.
Everything smells so good right now. Exams are right around the corner. How prepared do you feel? Up next is an insight to studying techniques and resources at MATC that will help you get a better grade on your next exam.
It's never easy, fun, or enjoyable, but studying is a necessary part of student life. Projects, exams, and quizzes, though they will all come and go, grades are here to stay. So what can we do when our eyes are heavy, our brain just doesn't want to go any farther, and it feels like we just hit a wall we'll never get over? Don't fear, these next few minutes may save your brain. We will show you tips, tricks, techniques, and resources that'll make studying not only more enjoyable, but more productive in the end. So where do we start? Meet Anita. She's a full-time student and she has an exam next week. Hey Anita, are you excited for that test? I didn't think so. How about preparation? Do you feel good about acing the test? Oh no, how about studying? Has that helped? Well Anita, let's show you how to increase your study skills to ace any test that's thrown at you. So, let's tackle that test you have coming up. Let's see what it's on. Oh boy, the history of homogeneous systems of equations involving extreme values of polynomials with relation to the Harry Potter universe? That's a heavy subject, Anita. The first major studying tip is to look at the review questions at the end of the chapter. If you read the questions first, it'll help as you read the text. You'll be able to find the answers to the questions which will stick in your mind easier. See? You're getting it. Now, let's see your notes. Notes are only as good as we write them, and we have to ensure they're organized. Let's see what you have. Oh no, no, no! If I can't make heads or tails of this, how can you? Don't worry, Anita. There's a simple way to do this. Your textbooks usually partition the information with bold text headers above the paragraph and the full text below it. Write down the headers in your notebook and write down the highlights you find in the textbook. Bam! Now your notes are organized and easy to read. So Anita, how do you feel? That's great! So the last tip, Same, Anita, same. The last tip is to find a place free of distractions.
Everybody's got a different learning style. We train tutors on how to recognize that and to maximize the strength that any student might have. If a student comes for any kind of tutoring for an hour a week, that on the average they will get a final grade in that course, which is 1 full grade point higher than those that don't come. So instead of a C, they would get a B, or instead of a B, they'd get an A. Each campus has academic support centers. But downtown we have 2 computer labs, and we have a math and science center, and we also have an English, call it the writing center. And in the writing center there are professional staff. Their specialty is helping people write papers. And it's not just for English classes, it's for all kinds of disciplines. Tutoring services is in the C building, that's C201, and right next to that is the Math and Science Center, that's C271. And the Writing Center is across the hallway, that's C270. Communication Center is in C278. And if you're in the M building, the big red brick building, it's in M273.
So Anita, with these resources and tips, how do you feel about that test now? Be sure to utilize and schedule tutoring services at MATC by going to tutor.matc.edu. And good luck to everyone on all their upcoming exams.
Make sure to take advantage of the tutoring services and academic centers to ensure you're prepared for any test or exam that comes your way. Where are we now?
All right, Jordan. Right now, we're flipping the pork chops to get that browning on that nice other side.
Okay, looks a lot better.
Our noodles are almost there. I'm gonna let them ride out a little
About like
bit.
4 more minutes, right?
About another 4 minutes,
Yes.
yep.
So they soften. How are we on the onions?
Onions and the herbs, they're not quite translucent yet, but they are getting that nice color to them.
Okay, yeah. I
means
smell
they're-
that seasoning.
Yep,
It smells really, really good.
like I said.
Especially that garlic in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The fresher the ingredients, the better. It really rides out and really makes a difference in the long run.
Right.
See, these onions are starting to get translucent now.
Okay.
They're starting to get almost that see-through. You're starting to see that color in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Really-
Like the browning a little bit.
Yep, they've really taken on the oil, and the herbs have sweated out. So now that they're at that point, we're going to take our sauce and we're going to just dump it right on in there.
Okay, nice. And so how long does that take to basically mix them together?
About a minute,
About
2
a
minutes. You just essentially want to get it heated through, get it all activated.
Now, is that homemade marinara sauce, or is that just like from the store?
This is bought from the store today, but when time allows, it is always better to make your own sauce.
Okay.
It is a lot simpler than most people think. Be as simple as just a little bit of basil, garlic, and crushed tomatoes.
Right. I mean, that's what we do. My family's Italian. We always make our marinara, our tomato sauce homemade. A lot better than the store.
Excellent.
Yes.
It's always encouraged to try new things and always practice at home.
Exactly.
All right, these pork chops are done now, so we're going to take them off the heat.
Okay. And now, what's our next step?
As soon as we finish our sauce here, you're going to blend it up just like we planned.
Okay.
First, I'm going to pull this sprig of oregano out of here. It's always good to give it a little bit of
Now,
those
this isn't going to
seasonings.
be messy, is it?
It can be if you are not practiced well with an immersion blender, but luckily
Well, this is my first time using it, so I'm kind of worried right now, right?
I'm
You should
going
be
to teach
too.
you. I'm going to show you real quick, and it's going to be real easy. Then you'll know. You'll be able to tell your friends, "Hey, man, I used an immersion blender."
There we
today."
go, if they know what that is.
Hopefully. All right.
Okay.
So as long as you get it submerged in there, make sure our power's on.
Power's not on? So do you think it's better to stir it then?
Yeah, we could probably stir it. We can get it blended up in another way.
All right. Here, let me use that spoon. Let's use that spoon
Yep.
right there.
Just mix it on up.
Okay. For how long do we do this?
Just until it's all worked in there. It's nice and heated up all
Okay.
the way through. At the same time, make sure our noodles aren't
See-
getting over.
Good idea. This is a lot cleaner than using that blender, right?
Absolutely. Like I said, it's not necessary. It just makes things a little bit nicer, makes things a little bit
Right.
smoother.
Right.
All right.
It's amazing. It smells so good too. I mean, I smell the garlic a lot.
Right. Like I said, the fresh herbs, fresh ingredients, it really goes a long way.
Okay. That's great.
All right, now that the sauce is almost mixed up,
All right.
we can turn our oven on and we're gonna get it all ready to go.
Sounds good. Can't wait to try this.
Absolutely.
And now it's time to take a look at how to sign up for classes here at MATC.
When it comes to registering for classes, there are a few things more stressful. But if you're looking for a good college to register for this year, then your best option is going to be Milwaukee Area Technical College, also known as MATC.
MATC is a very good college to register for. It has a lot of classes and a lot of opportunities for students, and those classes have a lot of different times available, so it'll work with the students' outside availability, and the teachers are also very much willing to work with the students and help them as much as possible.
MATC advisors are dedicated to helping students to improve in life and get ready for their next career. And if you need to speak to an advisor personally, they can be found at multiple locations all around the MATC campus.
I would say the best people to talk to about registering for classes would definitely be your advisors by far. They're located on any of the campuses. They can help choose what they think would be the best fit and option for you for when it comes to registering for classes, whether you are a returning student or a new student. And if not, then I'd say either your guidance counselors or even if you want to talk to some of your teachers.
There are also several other locations around the MATC campus where you can go to get help for registering for classes.
Something that I would recommend for registering for classes at MATC is to speak to an advisor first and foremost, because due to some people's personal preference along with their field of study, they may want to jump into like what they're going to school for. They might want to start with those classes right away, while an advisor may recommend that they get the required courses such as math, English, science. They may recommend that they get those done right away. It all depends on what the person's personal preference is, but I would definitely recommend speaking to an advisor first and foremost.
When it comes to registering for classes online, you have a couple of options. One, you can go to My MATC on the MATC website located at www.matc.edu. And from there, you can log into My MATC if you're a returning student, and you can search for any and all necessary classes and register from there. Or if you're a first-time student, you can also go to Info Online, also located on the MATC website. And from there, you can make any necessary adjustments to your schedule, select any classes you want, or possibly pick up a couple of new ones, and you can make your choices from there. We hope you have all found this information very helpful, and if you need any additional support for registering for classes, either search online or go speak to an advisor or guidance counselor so they can point you in the right direction. And we hope to all see you in our next semester for MATC. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day.
Trying to look our city from a different perspective, but at the same time exercise? Have you considered Bublr Bike as an option?
Bublr Bikes is Greater Milwaukee's local nonprofit bike share program. So we have brought bike share to Greater Milwaukee area for the last 3 years, and we're available for anyone, anytime, year-round.
So why riding a Bublr is a great way of transportation?
Excellent option for people who are trying to get to work or to school if you don't have a car, or even if you have a car. If it's a short trip, it's a half an hour, we're a perfect option for you to not have to use your car. It's also great for people like me who work downtown and I want to do an errand. I want to go to the 3rd Ward. It's a hassle to park, and it's so much quicker to just hop on my Bublr and take it over to a meeting or an errand. It's also great for people who ride the bus. 80% of our stations are co-located near a bus stop, and so you can hop off the bus and get on a Bublr and go that last mile. We have 70 Bublr stations, and that includes stations in Wauwatosa, West Dallas, and Shorewood.
Wondering how to locate a station?
Oh, it's easy to locate Bublr stations, but there are a couple different ways. If you've never used a Bublr before, you could go on our website, and we have location maps there for all the cities. You can also use your smartphone, and you can take our app out, and it will show you exactly where all our stations are, and it will even tell you how many bikes are at a station and how many empty docks are at a station, and it can even plan a trip for you from station to station. We also have very large panels at each station, and they have a map on one side, and it shows all our locations. You have to be 14 years old. In some cities, it's all the way up to 18, but in Milwaukee, we're really comfortable offering it to anybody 14 years and older.
There are different Bublr passes prices for you to choose from.
If you're just going to take it out once or twice, it's $3 for 30 minutes, and that's a great option for people who are visiting or just occasionally using it. But honestly, if you're going to use your Bublr bike for any more than a couple times a month, you're much better off getting at least the monthly pass, which is $15, and that lasts for as many rides as you want to take throughout the month. And then our riders who really use it a lot take out an annual membership, and that's $80 a month. But remember, for income-eligible residents of Milwaukee area, we have an $8 subsidized pass available.
If having difficulty taking a Bublr out, this is how you should take it out.
If you're right there at a station, there's a kiosk, and it has a little computer screen and some buttons, and really honestly you just put in your credit or debit card, and it will walk you through a series of questions, and you just answer the questions, and then it'll beep at you, and you'll see a little light on the bike, and it'll beep. and it'll light up, and that's your bike. And you pop it out and you take it out and off you go. If something happens, it's rare, we maintain our bikes every 28 days, but if you find that there's a bike that won't come out of the dock, or maybe you do have a flat tire, there's a number right on the handlebar. That's our customer service line, and you can call us, and we answer 24/7, and we'll be there to help you.
What type of bicycles does Bublr offer to the public?
Our bicycles are made by Trek, specifically for bike share. They are a step-through frame. They're very low to the ground, and so they offer great stability. They're a 3-speed. When you pedal, lights go on in the front and in the back, so they're very safe. And they all have baskets. Some of our earlier versions have a basket in the front and on the side. The 2.0s have a clamshell basket on the front. That's really great for making sure that things stay sturdy. And our tires are wider, and they also provide safety and stability. So it's an easy bike for really everybody to ride.
If you want more information, you can contact Bublr Bikes.
You can go on our website, www.bublrBikes.org, or you can call us at 414-530-3785, and we can answer all your questions.
Hop on a Bublr bike and enjoy the great scenery of our beautiful city.
We can burn some cardio. I think I'll burn some cardio stirring this.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna
Grabbing the chicken, or pork chops, I mean?
Yep, grabbing the pork chops out of the oven. Now that they're all sauced up,
Okay.
have some nice cheese melted on there.
That looks really good. Is that mozzarella?
A little bit of Italian blend, a little mozzarella, Parmesan, Romano.
There we go.
And we can plate up. We're about ready to eat.
I think that's good. Okay, let's do this. This is the best part of the show, right?
Best part of the show right here. Hope you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready for this. I can't wait. So is this like a family recipe for you?
It's a remix on a classic. My mom used to make it for me growing up as a kid.
Okay.
It was always just something that was nice and hearty for the winter times like
Right.
now where it gets real nice and cold.
Well, you're just carrying on the tradition, right?
Yep, just carrying on the traditions. You can sauce that up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cut these.
I'm gonna pour this on here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All that garlic, the onions.
All the good stuff.
Gonna load this plate up. This is my breakfast.
Absolutely. Gonna get you going all day. And just like
Perfect.
that. Breakfast
All right.
served.
Let me move this so everybody else can see what this looks like. All right, I got this.
Typically served with boneless pork chops to avoid any bones or any other cartilage.
It's like restaurant quality right there. That's really good.
Everything you dreamed of, isn't
A lot
it?
of flavor. Everything I dreamed of. You're right. Got to put this show in put this dish in a competition.
Maybe one day.
It's really good. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so
Jordan.
much. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, now everybody loves Christmas, right? I know I do. Everyone is trying to buy gifts and probably decorate their houses, and it can be pretty expensive for a college student. Let's check out this segment on making Ninja Turtle ornaments. This will be cool to see.
Students, is decorating your tree costly? Let's show you how to do it on a budget. Here's a few steps to follow.
I'm a student at University of Phoenix. I'll be graduating in December with a bachelor's degree in human services. I work for Milwaukee Public Schools and also the Milwaukee Recreation Division, where I'm an arts and craft instructor. Today we're going to be making Ninja Turtle ornaments on a budget for college students. So you're going to need your ornaments. You can get the plain ornaments or the ones with glitter. You're going to need your eyeballs, your ribbon. You're going to also need some scissors, and don't forget your high glue gun. You're going to get your ornament, and I have my strings already pre-cut, so maybe about a foot or longer depending on what, how big your ornament is. And then you're going to put a little glue on the edge to get it started. And then once you get that started, you're going to put it on your ornament, and then you're just going to wrap it around the ornament until you use all the ribbon up. And this is a really fun idea that you can do with your grandkids. You can do it in your school, your church, whatever works for you. The kids would really like this hand-on activity. So I'm going to just continue to wrap it around until I'm done. Then once I'm done, I'll put a dab of glue on the end as well. Just a dab. And then here's the beginning part of it. And then after that, then I'll take 2 little eyeballs and I will just glue it on the ribbon. 1, 2 little dabs. And then you're going to put your eyeballs. You can use any type of eyeballs. I just purchased the smaller ones, but I know Ninja Turtle have really big eyes, so you can use the bigger ones as well. Then once you're done with that, then you're going to take a string or a hook, and you're going to hook it on there like that. And it's our ornament. Look, college students, I have the whole gang together. 4 beautiful ornaments, shopping on a budget, less than $5. And you have a great holiday.
That was amazing, and plus I love the Ninja Turtles to this day. I'm not even joking when I say that. Joining me now is a special guest that knows a thing or two about studying and how to be better at it. Please welcome Miss Roxanne Dunkelberger-Sanchez. How are you, Roxanne?
I'm good,
Thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So this is a scary time for a lot of students. You know, it's exam time, the end of the semester. So how long should a student study for an exam?
Well, it's not a matter of how long, but how far before an exam a student should start studying. They should start studying actually all through the semester, getting themselves familiar with the material and learning how it relates to them and their needs. As far as when they actually study, they should study for 20 minutes at a time and take a 5-minute break. Then start again at 20-minute segments. 5-minute break, 20 minutes. Walk around in between.
What would you advise for a student who gets nervous during the exam?
I would advise that they remember to breathe. Sometimes students do, they forget to breathe. And so just to breathe in deeply for like 6 seconds, hold it for 6, exhale, maybe sometimes shake out their hands. It really gets rid of the jitters.
Do you think study groups are a good thing?
Oh, study groups are great. If we just read the material, we're going to remember it for like 5% of the material. If you study with others and if you teach others what you're learning, 95% is what you'll actually retain.
That's really interesting. So what services would you recommend for students here on campus?
Well, I'd recommend that they find a tutor, because a tutor, if they establish a relationship with a tutor, they can actually be talking about their subject. The tutor can actually clarify, can simplify, can classify, and also can help the student to retain the information a lot better by sharing.
Okay, are there any apps that you recommend for students to visit for studying?
Well, as far as the apps, one of the apps that's really good is this app that has a tree where you actually put your phone away. And
Really?
then the tree grows for the longer you leave your phone untouched. Sometimes it's the distractions that are actually more hindering the student than the actual app's purpose.
Okay, that's really interesting. I mean, that's like, for me personally, like when I took exams, like, of course, your phone is always out and that's always a distraction.
It is, exactly.
Okay, let's say if a student doesn't do well on an exam, like how do you cope with that?
Well, one of the things about failing an exam is obviously to learn from it. Sometimes the wrong answers are the ones you're going to remember the most, the longest, and the most thoroughly for whatever reason that is. It also gives the student an opportunity to think about what is it that they perhaps didn't do correctly? How did they misunderstand the instructor's intentions? And to get to know their instructor, I would highly recommend at that point talk with your instructor.
Okay, do you recommend that students create study guides before exams?
You know, study guides are, of course, very, very good. But one of the things that a lot of students don't do is they don't put the study guides in question form. To just read through what they're reading, well, yeah, they think they have it. It gives them a false sense of security. So turn all of those study guides into questions. Ask yourself a question, preparing for the test, and then once you know the answer, when it's in a question form, you're actually better prepared for the exam.
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, actually, quick question. Do mechanical pencils count as number 2 pencils?
You know, I'm not really sure about that. It's a good question, but just stick with what you know.
Right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Well, that's all the time we have for now. Be sure to tune in next week for our final episode of Surviving the Storm, where we will have more exciting tips and tricks to help benefit you throughout college. Thank you for joining us today. Have yourself an excellent day.